this is Carla and welcome back to the studio, and thank you for joining me for another episode of Throwback Thursday. So for this Thursday, I will be featuring the Inked Botanicals Suite Collection. This was a suite that was in our previous annual catalog, so it just recently retired. It contains the red rubber cling stamp set, Inked and Tiled. It also coordinates with the Inked and Tiled punch pack. So these aren't really big punches, they're fairly small. And then it also had the Lost Lagoon bordered ribbon. This is a really nice thin ribbon for tying bows. And then it also had a 6x6 pack of DSP. And this DSP, it is double-sided, and I'll just kind of flip through it fairly quickly here. You do get 4 sheets of each of these patterns, and it is double-sided. So let me flip it over and show you the other side. So the one side has like a more of a floral print, and then the other side has more of like a background type of images on it. So the colors in this pack of paper is Calypso Coral, Crushed Curry, Lost Lagoon, Petal Pink, and Pool Party. So before we get started, I do want to make mention of just one thing, only because it seems like we're going through the month of May fairly quickly. I do want to make mention about a special joining time that Stampin' Up! Has going on. It's for the starter kit. So typically our starter kits are $99 plus tax. Now the dollar amounts that I am giving you, this is for those that are in the US, okay? So the typical starter kit costs $99 and was at plus tax, and the shipping is free. Now you get to choose $125 in product of your choosing, and it can be from our new annual catalog. That is the current catalog we have right now. Anything that's in our online store, which includes clearance priced items and also what's in the online exclusives. Now, for this month, from May 1st through the 31st, in addition to all of that, you will also get some new in color items. So our new in colors are, let's see, Pretty in Pink, Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, Shy, Shamrock, and Summer Splash. So you will get a whole 5-pack of the ink pads in the new colors. You will get a 6x6 pack of the DSP. You'll also get a pack of the variety pack of the Cardstock pack. So this is a pack of 20, and you'll get like 4 sheets of each color. And then there's a whole set of the Stampin' Write markers. These are our water-based ink markers. These are not the alcohol ones. So you get all of this. It's an $82 value in addition to that starter kit. So I wanted to make mention of this, because we're coming close now to May 31st. Now, to join and be a demonstrator doesn't mean that you have to hold any classes and do videos and things like that. No. You can simply be either a hobby demo or a discount shopper. Basically, that means that you can get your craft supplies at a discount. And if you decide you want to do it as a business later on, you can. If you never want to, that's okay too. You do get, some of the perks that are with being a demo, and this would apply for whether you're just doing the discount or building the business. You do get to see the new catalogs before they go live. Typically a month before they go live, you get to do a pre-order of new product before it goes live. And there's also some demonstrator only events that happen throughout the year that you can also take part in. So if you have any questions at all about this starter kit special, feel free to reach out to me. My email is below in the description of this video, and I am more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. And I would love to have you be part of my Blue City Stampers family. So let me put this aside and let's go ahead and bring in what we need to start creating our projects. Okay, so for my first card, this one is a pretty simple, easy, kind of like a clean type of card. And let me bring in all of my pieces for this. So I have a piece of Petal Pink. This measures 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 4.25. I have another, so this is basically a scrap piece of Petal Pink, and then I also have a scrap of Basic White, and then I also pulled in like 4 different patterns of that Inked Botanicals DSP. So I've chosen these 4 right here. And what I'm going to do is, let's see, I'm going to fold and burnish my card base, like so. And put that aside. And then what I'm going to do with this piece, I'm going to bring in some scrap paper. I'm also going to bring in some of the stamps. I'm going to bring in this larger flower here and this leaf and this smaller flower right here. And then I'm also going to bring in the stamp that says lots of love. So what I'm going to do with this piece, I'm going to bring in my Petal Pink ink, which I didn't grab. Let me quickly go and get that. Petal Pink, Petal Pink. Where's Petal Pink? Yeah, I should have done this ahead of time. So sorry, guys. Petal Pink. There it is. There it is. Okay. So here's my Petal Pink. I'm going to also bring in a piece of scrap paper. Well, my scrap paper's right there. Boy, I'm doing well here. So I'm going to take this flower. I'm going to ink it up. Do I have any ink on here? Okay, there is. It just looked like my stamp wasn't really all that wet with ink. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to stamp it off once, and then I'm going to stamp it right over here. Like so. That's very, very light. And then I'm going to take my leaves. I'm going to ink this up and stamp off and fill in right here. And then I'm going to take the flower, ink that up, and I'm going to stamp that there. And it's very, very light. Okay, so we just have a little bit of a subtle stamping on that. So let me close up this ink because we're done with this color. Then I'm going to bring in my Calypso Coral ink, and I'm going to bring in this little white tag right here. Then I'm going to bring in that greeting. I'm going to ink this up. And I'm going to stamp this like about in the middle. I'm not going to worry about it not being straight. Okay, we're done with that. Okay, let me set that aside. And then let me bring in what I'm going to use here. And so this is the part where I'm going to speed it up, but let me explain what I'm going to be doing. So I'll be using the Timeworn Type 3D embossing folder. I'm going to emboss this piece that we stamped on, but before I do the embossing, what I'm going to do is I am going to die cut it using this die here. This comes from the deckled rectangles dies. This carried over into the it's either in the new catalog or you can find it in the online exclusive. So I'm going to be using this die. I'm going to die cut this first and then I'm going to run it through that embossing folder. So let me set that aside. Then I'm going to bring in my 2 punches. And with my 2 punches, I'm going to punch. You can see that out of 3 of these, I punched them out using the X punch. And then on this other pattern, I had punched out from this paper. So I'm going to punch those out. And then with this particular piece here, with this particular punch, I can take this and now I'm going to have to trim this down, but I can put this through this punch and then I can just trim off the extra tabs that's on the top and the bottom of it to create my, my sentiment, label. Words are hard today. So let me go and get my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and I will be right back. Okay, so let me bring in all of my pieces. Now, before the trimmer that I used, this was something that Stampin' Up had offered a few years ago. This was during Celebration. It was one of the little added things that they did with Celebration when you joined. Now, with this trimmer, there is a guard that goes right on here. I just took it off so it was a little bit easier for me to trim that one piece. Now, I do recommend that you keep it on there. That way you don't cut yourself because that could easily happen. So this, they don't sell this, but there are trimmers like this, very similar, that are out on Amazon. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my silicone craft sheet and I'm going to bring in my seal. Now, what I'm going to do with this piece, I'm going to add some dimensionals onto here. So I'm going to add some in the corners. And then I'm going to add like 2 of them in the middle here, just so that we don't have a saggy middle in our card. And let me take this stuff off of here. I'll remove all my paper backings. Okay, and then I'm going to center this on my card like so. Okay, and then I'm going to add some adhesive onto my pieces here. So I'm going to take, let's see which ones we have here. So I'm going to take this piece right here and I'm going to add some adhesive to the back of this. I want to make sure that I don't have any poking out. And I'm going to place this one right about here, like so. And then I'm going to take this one, add some adhesive to this. And I'm going to add this one right about here, like so. And then this one, put some on there. Make sure that none of my adhesives poking through from the back. And then I'm going to add this right up here, like so. And then I'm going to add some adhesive to this one. And let's see, the flowers look like they go that way. I'm going to add this one right here. And then for my greeting, I'm going to bring in my dimensionals. And the regular sized ones fit on there perfectly. So I'm going to add 2 onto here, like so, and I'll remove these paper backings. And then I will add this right here, like so. And then for my embellishments, I'm going to bring in some that had retired with our last catalog. And whoops, I got the packaging, but not the embellishments. So these are the Iridescent Pastel gems, and they came in, let's see, they don't have the colors on here. So there's Calypso Coral, Balmy Blue, and then I think, was this like a gold or vanilla or white? I don't know, but I'll be using the Calypso Coral. So I'm going to take one of my larger ones and I'm going to add that here. And then 2 smaller ones. Just kind of scatter those like so. So there is, let me put everything aside here. So there is our first card. On to our second. Okay, so for my second card, I have a piece of Lost Lagoon. This measures 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 4.25. I have a piece of the inked Botanicals DSP. This measures 5 by 2.25. And then I've got another pattern of that inked Botanical DSP that I had cut 3 of these, and these each measure 3.25 by 1.5. So I have them together as if they were one whole piece. So I'm trying to keep those in the right order. And then I have a scrap of crushed curry and very vanilla cardstock. So I'm going to start off with folding and burnishing my card base. And where's my bulk folder? Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my scrap of paper again because we'll be doing a little bit of Stampin' Off. Now on this piece, I am going to bring in my Lost Lagoon ink, and there is a stamp in the set that has kind of like this wavy line pattern right here. So I'm going to randomly stamp. I'm going to ink up my stamp. I'm going to stamp off and then stamp on my card base. I don't want it to be like really, really dark. I just want something that's kind of subtle in the background. Now a lot of this is going to be covered up from that DSP, but you'll still see a little bit of it poking through. This would make a nice stamp to use if you were doing a card with water. You wanted like a water look to it. And let's add another one down here. And I think that's pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. And then on this piece of Very Vanilla, I'm going to bring in the greeting that says Happy Birthday. And I'm going to ink that up and I'll stamp that right there in the middle. Actually, let's stamp that again. Okay, and let me close this up because we're done with our stamping. And then I'm going to bring in my punches. So I'm going to punch my happy birthday out using this punch here. I'm going to try and get it straight. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp, not stamp, I'm going to punch. Which one is a good one? This one. Okay. And then I'm going to punch another one out in my crushed curry. Okay, so let me move this out of the way. And we'll bring this in and we'll bring in the seal and my silicone craft sheet. I'm going to add some adhesive to the back of this piece. And I'm going to put that right here in the center. Like so. And then on these pieces, I'm going to add two dimensionals on the top and bottom of all three of these pieces. I'm trying to keep these in order. Put two at the bottom here. And we need three more. Okay. Let me put those right there. And then I'm going to take the dimensional backings off. Oops. And my dimensional backings are flying all over the place. I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to come over to my left. I'm going to put my two outer pieces down first, like so. And I'll take this one, take these backings off. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of look at the bottom here. I want to try and keep this level with this piece right here, and I'm going to put this one right over on this end and move it over just a teeny tiny bit and move it up like so. And then let's put our middle one in. When you're doing something like this where you're going to have three pieces, it's easier to put the outer ones down first and then come in with your center piece and put that in. That way you can give it like an even distance in between those pieces. Okay, so then for these two pieces here, I'm going to add some adhesive to the back of my very vanilla piece. And I'm going to take my crushed curry one and I'm going to kind of line this up. Let me put this down like this and make it a little bit easier. So I'm going to put this one down over it to where I have that crushed curry poking through on those corners. So that shows. And then I'm going to add some of my adhesive to the back of this. And then I'm going to bring in my bordered ribbon and I'm going to bring in my scissors and turn this over. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to do like a zigzag pattern behind this greeting. Just leave like a little bit of a loop. And then let's do this one more. Like so. Okay, and then I'm going to trim this down just a little bit. It'd be easier if I hold on to that. Okay, and then on this side I'm going to trim like so. Okay, so we're done with the ribbon. This is really pretty ribbon. It's kind of got like a linen look to it. Okay, and then I'm going to bring my dimensionals in. And I'm going to add some on here. Now I'm going to situate these to where they're actually holding down that ribbon to my cardstock piece. Okay, so we're done with this. Let me move that out of the way. I'll remove the backings. So these cards are very simple and easy cards. Now, I will tell you, I've seen a lot of samples using this bundle and the paper and all, and there are a lot of nice, pretty cards out there. So this is definitely one of those suites or bundles that you can do a whole lot with it. Okay, so there's our greeting. So we're going to bring in our embellishments. Now this time I'm going to use these other ones that I think they're white, or vanilla. They don't have the names of the colors on the packaging, and I don't have the old catalog in front of me that shows what the colors are. So that's why I'm kind of guessing, and I don't know offhand what they are. So I'm just going to add 3 of these on here as well. And there is our second card. So let me bring in the other card that we made. So here is my first one. A lot of the petal pink and just the pops of the color of the Calypso coral, and really utilizing some of that DSP with these coordinating punches. And then here's our second one, again using a lot of the DSP. A lot of it just all goes very well together, and the colors just look really, really wonderful. And of course we included some of that Lost Lagoon bordered ribbon. So here's our projects for this episode of Throwback Thursday. If you like these projects, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. It does help me in not only growing this channel, but it also helps me in building my Stampin' Up! Business, and I would truly, truly appreciate it. So until next Thursday, everyone have a blessed one. Bye-bye.